Hey there, how's it going? It's another beautiful day here today, and we are here to do the Course in Miracles lessons. And the lesson for today is lesson 132, so let's get right on it. I lose the world from all I thought it was. Let me repeat that again. I lose the world from all I thought it was. What keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? And what can save the world except yourself? Belief is powerful indeed. The thoughts you hold are mighty, and illusions are as strong as their effects is the truth. A madman thinks the world he sees is real and does not doubt it, nor can he be swayed by questioning his thoughts' effects. It is but when their source is raised to question that the hope of freedom comes to him at last. Yet salvation is easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it. Now the source of thought has shifted, for to change your mind means you have changed the source of all ideas you think or ever thought or yet will think. You free the past from what you thought before. You free the future from all ancient thoughts of seeking what you do not want to find. The present now remains the only time. Here is the present, is the world set free. For as you let the past be lifted and release the future from your ancient fears, you find escape and give it to the world. You have enslaved the world with all your fears, your doubts and miseries, your pain and tears, and all your sorrows press on it, and keep the world a prisoner to your beliefs. Death strikes it everywhere because you hold the bitter thoughts of death within your mind. The world is nothing in itself. Your mind must give it meaning, and what you behold upon it are your wishes, acted out so you can look on them and think of them real. Perhaps you think you did not make the world, but came unwilling to what was made already, hardly waiting for your thoughts to give it meaning. Yet in truth, you found exactly what you looked for when you came. There is no world apart from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. Change but your mind and what you want to see, and all the world must change accordingly. Ideas leave not their source. This central theme is often stated in texts, and must be borne in mind if you would understand the lesson for today. It is not pride which tells you that you made the world you see, and that it changes as you change your mind. But it is pride that argues you have come into a world quite separate from yourself, impervious to what you think, and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. There is no world. There is the central thought that the Course attempts to teach. There is no world. This is the central thought the Course attempts to teach. Not everyone is ready to accept it, and each one must go as far as he can and let himself be led along the road to truth. He will return and go still farther, or perhaps step back a while and then return again. But healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn there is no world, and can accept the lesson now. Their readiness will bring the lesson to them in some form which they can understand and recognize. Some see it suddenly on point of death and rise to teach it. Others find it in experience that is not of this world, which shows them that the world does not exist because what they behold must be true, and yet it clearly contradicts the world. And some will find it in this course and in the exercises that we do today. Today's idea is true because the world does not exist. And if it is indeed your imagining, then you can lose it from all things you ever thought it was by merely changing all the thoughts that gave it these appearances. The sick are healed as you let go all thoughts of sickness, and the dead arise when you let thoughts of life replace all thoughts of you ever held of death. A lesson earlier repeated once must now be stressed again, for it contains a firm foundation for today's idea. You are as God created you. There is no place where you can suffer, and no time that can bring change to your eternal state. How can a world of time and place exist if you remain as God created you? What is the lesson for today except another way of saying that to know yourself is the salvation of the world? To free the world from every kind of pain is but to change your mind about yourself. There is no world apart from your ideas, because ideas leave not their source, and you maintain the world within your mind in thought. Yet if you are as God created you, you cannot think apart from him, nor make what he does not share his timelessness and love. And these inherent in the world you see. Does it create like him? Unless it does, it is not real and cannot be at all. If you are real, the world you see is false, for God's salvation is unlike the world in every way. And as it was his thought by which you were created, so it is your thoughts which made it and must set it free. That you may know the thoughts you share with God. Release the world. Your real creations wait for this release to give you fatherhood, not of illusions, but as God in truth. God shares his fatherhood with you, who are his son, for he makes no distinctions in what is himself and what is still himself. What he creates is not apart from him, and nowhere does the Father end, the Son begin, or something separate from him. There is no world because it is a thought apart from God, and made to separate the Father and the Son, and break away a part of God himself, and thus destroy his wholeness. Can a world which comes from this idea be real? Can it be anywhere? Deny illusions, but accept the truth. Deny you are a shadowy, briefly laid upon a dying world. Release your mind, and you will look upon a world release. Today our purpose is to free the world from all the idle thoughts you ever held about it, and about all living things we see upon it. They cannot be there, no more can we, for we are in the home of our Father set for us, along with them. And we, who are as he created us, would lose the world this day from every one of our illusions, that we may be free. Begin the 15-minute periods in which we practice today twice with this: I who remain as God created me would lose the world from all I thought it was. For I am real because the world is not, and I would know my own reality. Then merely rest alert, but with no strain, and let your mind in quietness be changed so that the world is freed along with you. You need not realize that healing comes to many brothers from across the world, as well as to the ones you see nearby, as you send out these thoughts to bless the world. But you will sense your own release, although you may not fully understand it as yet, that you could never be released alone. Throughout the day, increase the freedom sent through your ideas to all the world, and say whenever you are tempted to deny the power of your simple change of mind, I lose the world from all I thought it was, and choose my own reality instead. Wow. Alrighty. So we're talking about letting go of the illusion, letting go of what you thought the world was, because it never was. There is no such thing as the world, as the Course is telling us. It does not really exist. It is only something that we have created in place of what is real, because we're choosing not to focus on the real. We're choosing to focus on the illusion. So it doesn't really exist. And that is the big lesson that we are trying to understand today. Now the Course refers back to one of my favorite lesson, which is I am as God created me, and using that as evidence that the world does not really exist, because If you are as God created you and you never change, then how can things around you change? How can you be different when you're not different? And that's the key right there. You cannot be different. You are still as God created you. And what's happening around you does not really happen. It does not really exist. It's not really there. And that's the lesson that the Course is trying for us to understand today. And it's a hard lesson. Most people don't want to get it. It's hard for them to get it because it's different. It really is different. I remember the first time I did the lessons and getting some of the concepts. Sorry about that, pushed the camera by mistake. Some of the concepts that were in there were very hard to understand and very difficult to grasp and just say, well, how is that real and how is that true and how am I gonna make that real in my mind? And that's the whole thing. That's why I don't know if you noticed, but like a lot of the same lessons keep repeating themselves. Like we keep repeating, this is an illusion, the world is an illusion, the world does not really exist. Our thoughts are not real thoughts because they're not. We're not thinking them with our real self, we're thinking them with our human self. So they're not real. What we see is not real. All these recurring ideas and thoughts, it's trying to drive it into your brain so you start realizing that that is what the truth is, that this world is not real, does not really exist. And the real you, which is whole, complete, at peace, in happiness, filled with love, is letting the ego take over and is stepping aside and letting the ego do whatever it wants to do and believe the unreal. And it's for us to take back control and make the choice, the conscious choice, that we want to see the real, that we want to remember who we truly are. And in doing that, we need to let go. We need to let go of the belief system that we've had all these years, depending on how long you've been alive, and start realizing that if we want to find that real, eternal happiness that we're all searching for, we need to change where we're looking for it. We're never going to find it outside of ourselves. We're never going to find it in other people. We're not going to ever find it in things. We have to look inside ourselves and find God, connect with God, and remember who we truly are. And when we do that, then that everlasting peace and joy and happiness that we're searching for will become a reality because it's always been there. So that's what the Course is trying to teach you today. It's asking us to do 2 15-minute periods to focus on the idea of, let me read it again. Here we go. The idea for today is, I lose the world from all I thought it was. So it's what your thoughts have created. You gotta let go of those thoughts and you gotta replace them with different thoughts. Real thoughts of only joy, of only happiness, of no more sickness, of no more sadness. That's what we have to do. And we dedicate 15 minutes today. It's not a lot. Let's do it. Because when we do it, we help others become free. We allow other people to slowly shift to their perception because we're shifting our perception. We're all connected, remember. So what you do, what you accomplish, has repercussions on the rest of our brothers and sisters. So let's do it for them and do it for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I know it's a little bit difficult one, it's a little bit different, but do your best. Try and do the 15 minutes because it makes a world of difference. Hope you're staying safe. Hope you are close to those you love. And I hope you're enjoying the gifts and the life that God gave you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.